It says I'm live. There it is. I'm like, why is it not going?
It's a Bunny Show live with our host and resident sex expert, Bunny.
Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody feeling today? I couldn't resist putting the Church of Bunny up there. Thank you for that comment. And speaking of which, I'm learning more and more about what this modern technology can do. And I'm kind of loving it because we can do super chats now on the channel. We can do we have a membership section that's $4.99 a month, and it's like exclusive content and emojis and like membership badges and stuff like that. So I'm really super pumped about all of this. But that also made me think about this cool thing where I could put CD Bear's Church of Bunny up on the screen this morning. How is everyone doing today? I've got some very cool upcoming events that I want to talk about real quick. This week on the Bunny interviews, I've got Johnny Noble. So that is going to be on Wednesday. I'm very excited about that. He's Noble Body Skincare, skin and hair oils, but his first career was as an attorney. So he's super intelligent. He's really fun to talk to. And he's just got a lot of very cool life experience worth sharing. So I'm very excited about that. Oh, I'm going to have all kinds of fun now. I'm going to show that. Oh, damn it. Oh, I don't know how Rhinestone does this at the same time that he's talking. Like, he's got mad skills. And then next weekend on the Bunny Show Live, I'm gonna stop fucking with that now. Next weekend on the Bunny Show Live, we are going to talk about feminism, and we're going to dig into, I'm actually super excited about this very drab topic, because we're going to talk about how feminism is like, you know, all the things that we know, but I want to dig into it kind of from a bunny spin, how horrible it is for our gender roles, our roles within relationships, our roles within community, and just kind of dig into, I feel like the pendulum is kind of swinging, and I'm hoping that it's swinging away from this hardcore feminist agenda, despite what the news wants us to see. So I'm not terribly political, but feminism is certainly something that is near and dear to my heart because I'm a girl. And so people automatically kind of group us into this, assuming that most girls are, especially most girls who work in any way, are attuned to the feminist agenda. So I just kind of want to talk about that because my father was very clear from the get-go, and I've shared with you guys several times that he did not raise me to be a feminist. And yet, you know, I still worked and things like this. So I think there's a lot of nuances, and I think it will be an interesting discussion that I hope you will join in. I'm also very excited. Last night, while Fort Worth and I were getting our drink on, we got confirmation from Handy Gal Ginger on Twitter. Her name is Teresa, and she is going to be on the Bunny interviews in a couple of weeks. So that's really exciting. I don't even have a link to share with you on that yet, but she's very cool. She and her husband Mike do like music reviews. She does handiwork. She like does remodeling. She does like gardening. They live in Costa Rica, I think. Mm-hmm. Like all kinds of, she's like an expat from Canada. So she's got like a very cool story. And she says there's no stone that I have to leave unturned. I can ask her anything. She's an open book, which is my favorite kind of interview to do. Also exciting. Okay. And then this is the last one. Also exciting. Yesterday I finished a quick booklet on why women cheat. Women and cheating. I don't even have a sales page up for it yet, but it will be up soon. And I think it's just really good. It's easily digestible, inexpensive. It's going to be, so be looking for that today to launch. I'm pretty excited about it. I am drinking green juice today because Fort Worth and I sat around the house and got drunk last night, and it was pretty hot. So, and yes, there was pizza involved. But on that note, my hot seat Q&A today, first, I'll answer a question that I get asked a lot, and that is, what's my favorite drink of choice when we go out or when we're having adult beverages? My go-to is usually, I'll just answer. My go-to is an old-fashioned because I love them. Now, don't ask me if I like bourbon or rye or whatever because I don't know. Don't ask me if I like sweet. I think I do. I know none of the nuances, but I've never met an old-fashioned that I didn't like. There are some that are clearly made with better quality alcohol than others, so they're just more smooth. But I never had an old-fashioned until I lived in Wisconsin. And actually, it was only once I was leaving, like moving away from Wisconsin, I was kind of going through a bucket list of things that I had not done yet that I really wanted to accomplish before leaving, that I finally tried an old-fashioned. And now it's like my go-to drink across the board, and I love them. So however they make them in Wisconsin is how I like them. Last night, and around home, a lot of times we'll just like mix up whiskey and Coke. But last night I was doing vodka, lime, and club soda because I didn't want the sweet. That's a lot. That's a lot to just throw at you. That's the longest like intro I think we've ever done in the world. Mm-hmm. 7 minutes. What the hell? All right, let's get to the questions. Do you guys have any questions? If y'all have any questions, this is my favorite part, is answering things just off the cuff live from the chatterbox. So if you are tuned in and have a question you would like to ask, please do so. Also, feel free to tell me what your drink of choice is in the chats as well. Fort Worth.
What's mine?
What are the questions? What is your favorite drink, honey?
I like whiskey and Coke right
now.
Hot seat questions. How do you introduce kink to a new girl?
That's a great question. That's hitting it hard. We're hitting this Sunday morning church service off right. Yeah. How to introduce kink to a new girl. I would say slowly. The great thing about kink is it's super hot, and girls often are more interested in it than they think they would be. So you can't discuss it with her ahead of time. And you can't go to the fullest extreme. Yeah, baby steps. You can't go to the fullest extreme right off the bat. But you can look at what your ultimate goal is in the kink factor, and then kind of step it back and look at introducing a little bit each time. So start way back here and just keep pushing a little further each time. And essentially, each time you're with this same girl, push to the point that she stops you. And that sounds like more dramatic than it is, but to where she starts going, oh my God, no, that kind of thing. And then, that's the barrier for that day, but that's not the barrier necessarily forever. Make sure also that, this sounds kind of pervy, but make sure also that there's a little bit of alcohol involved, because alcohol is sex fuel. It's a lot easier to kind of introduce a little bit harder core sexual stuff whenever there's a little bit of just natural lubrication, because it kind of lowers the ick factor. It maximizes the arousal, and it lowers the defenses a little bit. I'm not talking about making her like blackout drunk and then doing whatever the fuck you want with her, but it will definitely help in making sure that there's less pushback and more of her just kind of relaxing and going with it and enjoying it. She will genuinely enjoy it more if she's got a little bit of a buzz on. So I recommend, like CD said, baby steps, and then eventually you get there. And then you don't have to baby step your way through. So the good thing is, in your steps towards the kink level that you want to achieve eventually, you know, whenever you're with her this time, let's say you go this far. And then the next time, you don't go all the way back to 0 every time. You start just a little back from where you were able to achieve last time. So don't start there, because that gets to be a little bit much. She starts going, oh God, you know, that was sudden. But if you start back a step and then move through that step, oftentimes you can get 2-3 steps further, or even all the way to home base. So kink is very fun. It's fun at your level. Sometimes a girl that you're with is just not going to go all the way as hard as you want to go. And you have to be okay with that, because kink is also kind of one of those things that is interpreted, I would say, individually by the person, by the man, by the leader of this sexual encounter. So you have to be very cautious also, and just understand that, yes, you can get more girls further than they would ever talk about or agree to if they were talking about it. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that all girls are going to go all the way as deep into kink as you think you would like. So what do you think? Anything to add?
It's great.
What's the next question? I'm seeing lots of great comments
here.
here.
Looking forward to. What are the best dating apps for men in their 40s?
Ooh, that's a good question. And I feel like we get asked this quite a bit because most of the guys that we deal with professionally are definitely 40s, 50s, even some 60s, I would say, who are getting back on the dating market and are just kind of like, they haven't dated since high school or maybe college. So it's a big deal. If you're a guy in your 40s, getting back on the dating market, it could look a little tricky. A lot of guys go straight to Match, which I think is a terrible idea. I think Match is garbage. I think it's kind of just the cesspool of dating. As far as, it's kind of like a shopping bulk, you know, it's very much, it was the original, it still exists. That doesn't make it great. I think that Hinge is the best go-to, just across the board, the best go-to app for online dating right now. As far as official online dating apps, it's great because it asks a lot of great questions that you answer. So it's got a lot of built-in conversation starters. It encourages you to, like, at least have an idea of what questions to ask when you're starting conversations, even if you're not great at that. And it gives opportunity to share some of your nuances and experiences with people too. I think they just launched where you can also do voice memos as well as videos on there. So and I don't know if that's just for the paid option or not, but I think it really adds a whole new level. It's essentially becoming a social media site, which is a really smart way to do it. Now, that being said, I think that, and I haven't dug into this because of course I'm not on the dating market, but I think that even guys in their 40s and 50s could clean up on Instagram. And I'm hearing this a lot, and I've been researching it a lot and just kind of digging into some of the nuances that are involved with that. And guys who are comfortable reaching out to, playing the numbers game, it's still a numbers game, and reaching out to women through Instagram, I think it's more like gym game. It's a little bit longer, long-term play, but it seems to be really effective. some of the keys there. And I think my next booklet is actually going to be about this. So this is just kind of like me running through my thoughts and ideas. Some of the keys there is your profile has to be great. It can't be just like a picture of you 5 years ago playing Xbox on your couch with buddies with like your belly hanging out and beer cans. I mean, you have to really, I just lost the word. It's probably the alcohol. You have to have a great Instagram account yourself, and really a great collection of photos showing you looking great, you looking normal, you out with friends, you doing things that you enjoy doing. Really curate a great collection of photos, and don't just post them all at once. This is a long game thing, but Instagram is truly the latest, greatest dating app that's being used, and it's being used really well by the people who get these kinds of nuances. So it's like Gym Game, which we've actually done a podcast on Gym Game. It's not in the show notes, but I know we've shared it before. Very similar. Start commenting on her posts occasionally, but not in a thirst trap kind of way. And like commenting genuinely on, I've surfed there before also. Have you ever surfed here? I love that, that gallery piece where, whatever it is that strikes you as interesting, and not on every picture she posts, and not on the ones that are clearly just thirst trap photos that she's posting, but start interacting as we do on Twitter, because Twitter is just a long, involved conversation that never goes to sleep. You can use Instagram a lot in that same way. So I would like to encourage you to start conversing on things that she shares that are not just like sexy booty pictures. Those girls are not there for actual dating. That's like beating your head up against a wall. Those are essentially OnlyFans girls who want to be OnlyFans girls under the guise of being a fitness influencer or a shopper or whatever it is that they do. But genuine girls that you see on Instagram and are interested in, it can be a really great, good morning, Marty. It can be a really great source for dating and connection. So I really do think that's the next booklet that I'm going to put out. I like the idea of doing the new booklets that are a little bit more bite-sized, but hold a punch and are easy to digest from your side, but also less expensive. Yeah. So the answer, Hinge as a dating app, and Instagram, which is actually the newest, greatest Instagram or dating app for sure. Unofficial dating app. Next question.
Went out with a dentist tonight. 10-10. She wanted to go home with me. And I did the one thing I shouldn't have done. I wasn't at a place close to mine. Was too far away. She didn't want to drive that far. Kicking myself in the ass for this one.
That's rough. So this is actually a question or a comment that Fort Worth got last night, but it's too good not to jump in on, because I think a lot of guys miss this very important step, especially, and I mean, I know you ran into it even in, your dating world. Logistics matter. It's, sorry, I sometimes I get distracted by the comments. But like sometimes in really big areas like Dallas, Fort Worth, people think is like, on the map, it looks like we're one big city, but it's actually like 3 hours across from one end to the next. I mean, and Houston is one city and it's 4 hours across. So sometimes meeting in the middle in big areas like this makes a lot of sense on paper, but it does not make a lot of sense if the date goes well and you want to get her back home to your place or even to her place and fuck like mad. So you have to always be running the logistics, no matter what. So in this case with this dentist, this guy could have, even if they were far apart, and so the idea was to meet in the middle. Somehow you need to, as the man and as the leader of this relationship and planning and scheduling, you need to get her to your neighborhood. You need to get her to your home base somehow, whether it's, I really want to, let's go to this thing. It's, like something that's exclusively there. You need to, it's kind of like plausible deniability and getting a girl upstairs. You want to come and see my pet midget? Do you want to see my guitar collection? Do you want to see the art gallery that's in my, basement? Sounds creepy. All of these things are just plausible deniability. They're just reasons that you use that you don't actually have to back up at all to get her to where you want her to be. So plausible deniability at the end of the day to get her upstairs. Plausible deniability at the beginning of the day to get her to your home base. You need home court advantage so you can run. I love it. Forrest over there like, preach. You need home court advantage so you can run your system, not have to go far away and scope logistics beforehand, which in this case, if this is actually like, there's no way that you can get her all the way to your home court and you have to meet up, then your job is to go scope things ahead of time. You need to go to the location that you two have agreed to meet at. You need to scope hotel options around close proximity, preferably within walking distance. And then your rationale needs to be, instead of coming back to my place, which is clearly a little ways away, you need to say, well, since I knew that we were going to, meet up here and we were going to be out probably pretty late, I went ahead and got a room, like in that hotel room. In fact, you can see my room from here. This is the game you need to play, whether you actually live 15 minutes away or not. I knew I was going to be, I would probably have a few drinks, so I wanted to be sure. And then you also have built-in plausible deniability to get her upstairs or into the hotel to close that fuck deal. But you're close. You can still run your game, but you have to scope it out first. You cannot fly by the seat of your pants just because there's like a center meetup. So this guy could have easily closed, it sounds like, a girl who is, hot and apparently down to fuck, but there was nowhere to go. And we're not teenagers anymore. So oftentimes we're not going to fuck in the car necessarily. So it's a grown-up thing to do, to know your logistics and know that it matters. I want to say, because this was actually a question or comment for Fort Worth, guys, if you would like to meet with him, he does consults and he is killing it. He's helping hundreds of guys in the consults and in his dating and relationship coaching. He also does text support. So he has instant, constant conversations with you guys just by phone also. So there's lots of options to meet with him if you have a particular issue you're dealing with, a particular girl, or just kind of a general need to kind of advance your skills. He's a great source for that. So click that consults button. In fact, look, I'm going to play show. Is he going to show? What? Oh, there it is. Look at that. Anyway, if you would like to meet with Fort Worth, but if you'd like to meet with Fort Worth, please click that consult button. And
That's awesome. Yeah,
I love it. I know I'm having all kinds of fun today. People are probably getting annoyed, but hopefully not. Okay, next question.
Can girls tell how much sexual experience a guy has?
To an extent, I will say yes. Yes, girls can tell to an extent. the kind of the level of sexual experience that you have. A lot of times it's as much because you are timid, you clearly lack sexual confidence, and a lot of times it's just a little bit too nice. You know, there's a lot of niceties that go along with the lack of sexual confidence. So girls can tell a lot whenever, and honestly, it's the nice guys that don't usually have a lot of sexual experience. So it's kind of a chicken or egg kind of thing. Is he not having sex because he's too nice? Is he, too nice because he's not having a lot of sex? So there's like a desperation there. There's a lot of missed opportunities. There's a lot of missed opportunities whenever you nice guy your way out of a lot of sexual experience. And unlike women, guys with sexual confidence and sexual experience actually go further. They go further with women. They turn more women on because the more experience that you have with these girls, the more they can sense it, we can sense it, and that excites us to a great extent. So, where you see a girl or of a girl who has clearly been run through, or that 1,000 cock stare or whatever, and most men go, I'm good. You can jump on the crazy train over there. You think there's no telling what this kind of drama this girl's going to bring, what kind of shit shows she's going to be. Clearly there's damage. But with guys, it's actually sexually appealing to women for you to have more sexual experience. So yes, girls can tell. I do think that there's a lot of stuff that you can fake it until you make it. So just being a naturally confident man goes a long way of throwing off our radar as to how much sexual experience guys have. Because again, sexually experienced men are generally more confident. Sexually inexperienced men are generally more nice. So if you are more confident, masculine, aggressive, you're going to automatically kind of throw us off our radar a little bit. And even if you lack sexual experience in that way, you can actually fake it. So it's a good way to get past any of the hurdles that just being a nice guy will give. So I have an instant self-confidence book. It's down in the comments. It's a really great way. It's 25 steps. Fake it till you make it. You can take them all at once, or you can just kind of do bite size, or some of them are things that maybe and are already doing to a certain extent, but people need reminders that this stuff works and why. So I encourage you to check that book out. But truly, if you want to attract more girls, be more confident, boost your confidence not only on the game side of things, not only personality wise, not only looks wise, but once you get in the bedroom, if you are faking confidence and don't know how to fuck, you're going to be up shit creek. Because once you're in the bedroom and you get this girl upstairs, you've run through Fort Worth's, your date. I just went blank. Your dating plan, your
routine.
Yeah, but that's not the name of your book.
How
do we not know what this book's called? Anyway, his system, dating. Clearly, we should not drink.
Should not be drinking.
We should not drink on Saturday nights.
That's funny.
So you've been through his system. You've built your own system. You've got everything lined up. But if you get in the bedroom and you actually don't know what the fuck you're doing, then performance falls off and then she gets turned off. So You can fake a lot of things, but I recommend, I just happened to write a book on it. You know, sex is my thing. So if you haven't already, and if you have questions about your performance in the bedroom, I recommend Fuck Like a Porn Star, and now my Fuck Like a Porn Star course, because both of those are, one is like the cheat sheet, and one is like the 18 course meal, or in this case, 21 course meal. It's going to be a great course. The book is really good though, and it will help you gain more confidence actually in the bedroom. So yes, to answer the question, yes, women can tell a man's level of sexual experience, but you can throw her off her scent by having more confidence in and out of the bedroom.
She can't read your mind, you know, as far as your level of experience.
Yeah, good point. She can't, girls can't read your mind. So if you can throw her off her scent, it's a win-win.
That's all we have right now.
Awesome. I have a question for you guys. Or pseudo question. I would love to know where you guys are tuning in from, whether you're watching live or after the fact, and you just comment in the comment section down below, because Fort Worth and I have always wanted to do like worldwide tour and meet you guys. We want to see you guys in person and like have meetups and like travel cool places and meet cool people. And you guys are definitely cool people. So in the coming months and years, we want to hit a lot of really great hot spots, and we want to meet you guys. We're not talking about like any big convention or anything like that, but just cool little meetups. So we would love to know where some great places to go would be, because we like to go for experiences and, for having neat people to come and see. So I would love to know where you're coming from. Let's see. Is there anything else in my notes? I love it. I love it. I love it. So I've asked you like all these good questions. So what's your drink of choice? Where are you guys from? I love it. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you to Fort Worth for being the best darn producer I've ever had, and always making me look good, even when he gets me drunk and makes me all mush brained in the morning. I hope that this has been useful to you. I hope that even as I stumble through my words, that I've given you some tidbits of great information to digest, and hopefully you picked through the rubble to find the gems. But thank you so much for joining me for Bunny Church this week. Next week, remember, we're going to talk about feminism. This week on the Bunny interviews, I've got Johnny Noble. I'm very excited about that. I think a lot of you are familiar with him. If you missed it, I had Pat Stedman on the show this last week. If you never caught my revealing interview with Fort Worth Playboy, that was fucking fantastic. So turn back the time to that one. There's a lot of good things. We've posted a lot of podcasts this week. Life is good. Life is good, and it's only getting better. It's almost May. I hope that you guys are having a great time enjoying beautiful weather. And I thank you for joining us today. Bye. I don't know why I love that so much. Oh my goodness. I should not try and do anything left-handed.